Hi, Richard Norris again. Just thought I'd impart a helpful hint and tip for you, for those of you who are running a small business, starting your business, and you've got a small team around you. Actually, it applies to any team or of any size. And it's just a tip on how to ensure that you get everybody playing the right game, to use a phrase. You might have experienced this in the past. I know I have, and certainly in a lot of the businesses I've coached, it's one of the first things I put in place with businesses and with the business owners and the executives, the leadership team. And it comes around, have you ever had or experienced in your workplace negative people? And people just keep coming up with excuses. They keep blaming others. They're in denial that they're doing things wrong or they're doing right. Well, if so, and that's what I describe playing below the line. And you know, if you drew yourself a line on a piece of paper and you wrote down underneath that line the letters B, E, D. B stands for blame. You know, are you experiencing or have you experienced, and it could be yourself, where you blame others for, you know, things aren't going right in the business, things aren't going right with clients. You know, there's just somebody, there's always pointing that finger blame at somebody. The E stands for excuses. How many of us have actually heard other people make excuses for not getting stuff done or not achieving results? We've all been there. And then the last one, D, stands for denial. You know, somebody just saying, hey, not only was it not me, but it's got nothing to do with me. I'm effectively perfect. They can't see the fact or the truth that they're in error. And if you think about those, all of us have experienced that. And yet I scratch my head all the time when I come across business that, now, what kind of work environment does that create? Effectively, it creates a negative one. So why do we tolerate it? And the reason why most business owners, leaders, team leaders sort of tolerate that is because they don't know how to deal with it. They don't have a means to overcome it. So as you remember, I said we were drawing this line, and this is what I call, how do you convert that, how do you change that or transform that negative environment into a positive one? Is you play what I call is above the line. You know, so you draw that line, and above the line you write the letters O-A-R. O stands for ownership. You know, it's about ensuring that everybody in your team takes ownership and agrees with it. A stands for accountability. You know, they're accountable. You make them accountable for the results that you're expecting of them. And then R is responsibility, making them responsible for their own actions. Because if you think about that line, if you use the first letters of the blame, excuse, deny, that's bad. You know, if you use that as a water line, what's the stuff that floats to the bottom of the water? You know, fish swim in the water, things die in the water. So it's all the garbage. All the excrement is the stuff that floats below the surface. It's all negative stuff. It's poisonous. It's toxic. It's not helping your business at all. It's not helping your team. Whereas if you think about the things above the line, take the letters O-A-R, that's about, you've got an oar and you're paddling your own ship. Talk about the term ownership. You own the ship, so you got to paddle it in the direction you want. Now, one of the things I encourage business owners to do is post that little model up on a wall and get everyone to agree that from now on we're not going to accept anybody blaming anybody, making excuses, or being in denial. And everyone has the right, and you allow it, to challenge anyone when they're caught playing below the line. It doesn't happen yet, it's going to happen. But I found with businesses I've coached that when they put that in place and everybody signs up to it, and inevitably it's the managing director who gets busted first, and you can just ask for those people who've experienced this before, and once they're challenged, they have to own up and say, okay, so your responsibility when you catch somebody playing below the line is to actually ask them, you know, how can I help you play above the line? Listen, that was out of order. How can we overcome this? So that what that does is helps everybody start playing consistently above the line. When you do that, you don't have any of that garbage dragging you down like an anchor, but it frees you up so you can get that oar out and you can start paddling your own ship. So from here on in, just consider it for the 2011 and beyond, start playing above the line. Thank you, and I look forward to catching you on another video soon. But other than that, drop by drrichardnorris.com, and if you've got any questions, post me a message or an email. You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Facebook. Other than that, have a great day. Take care. Go out there, play above the line, and be awesome.